الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسول الكريم أما بعد. We praise and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, send salawat on Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his family, friends and all those who follow until the end of time. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah, this Fajr with Jama'ah, such a great gift. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, give glad tidings to those who proceed to the masajid in the dark hours. بشر الماشين في الظلم إلى المساجد. Give glad tidings to those who go to the masjid in the dark hours. بالنور التام يوم القيامة. With complete nur, complete divine illumination on the day of Qiyamah. Subhanallah. You travel in the darkness to Allah's house in this world, and Allah grants you divine light in the next. Allah Ta'ala make us worthy and deserving of that. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah, today we begin our journey through Surah Waaqia, of which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had said, whoever recites the surah every day after Asr, poverty will never afflict them. Poverty will never afflict them. And subhanallah, each person wants to be uitgesort to an extent. Lekker, want to be comfortable. Alhamdulillah. And in Surah Waaqia is the secret for that. So Allah Ta'ala starts off firstly, and Allah reminds us, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, إذا وقعت الواقعة ليس لوقعتها كاذبة. إذا, when, وقعت, happens, الواقعة, the main event. When the main event happens and the main event comes, ليس, not, لوقعتها, for its occurrence, كاذبة, a denier. The day that the day of Qiyamah comes, nobody will be able to deny the fact that it is there. Each and every creation of Allah will accept that this is happening right now. Subhanallah. No one will be able to push it away. No one will be able to stay away. No one will be able to write a sick note and say, oh, just go on my behalf and take some notes for me. No. Each and every person, each and every creation will be present. Subhanallah. Allah reminding us first and foremost that you must go back to Allah. One of the greatest themes of the Quran is exactly this. The fact that we will be resurrected and we will have to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then there will be one of two results. خَافِضَةٌ رَافِعَةٌ. Khafidah, meaning that this day of Qiyamah, it is an event that will raise some others, some people. Khafid, or rather firstly, Khafidah, meaning to put down. The day of Qiyamah will put down and debase and make low some of Allah's creation. Rafi'ah, and it will raise up some of Allah's other creation. Rafa'a yarfa'u means to raise. So those that will be going down, indicative of the displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indicative of the punishment that Allah ta'ala has in store on the day. May Allah save us from that. Ameen. And Rafi'ah, raising, lifting up, honoring, showing grandeur towards those who had obeyed Allah, had believed in Him, had accepted His law, whatever He had decreed, in whichever age, and had done their best effort to follow His messengers. They and their rank will now be raised. Those that had persevered, even though times were tough and difficult, they will now be honored for that perseverance. Subhanallah. One of two results. There will be no fence sitters. In fact, there will be a small category of fence sitters, those whose deeds are exactly the same, and then Allah will still ultimately decide regarding them where they must go to. But at the end of the day, khafidah, rafi'ah. Some people will be raised up and others will be put down. May Allah Ta'ala make us be of those who become elevated on that day. Ameen. This worldly life is a life of difficulty and a life of struggle. And whichever level we are on at this point in time, there is difficulty and there is struggle. And there are bits of ease, of complete calm and relaxation. But to the most extent, every single person is going through some sort of difficulty, either mental or psychological, or within their family or within themselves and their body and their earnings and so forth and so on. Allah promises that in the Quran. And it is how we respond to all of these tests of this life that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will treat us in the next. What do we respond with as a Muslim? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. When difficulty comes, this is for Allah and it will go back to Allah, and I must do my best regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is something that we all have to journey through. It might not have always been that way, that we did for Allah the best that we possibly could. But then Allah grants us intellect and understanding, and He gives us a little bit more time to see the error of our ways, and then it is for us to then make a change. And then once we made the change, then we appreciate the fact that Allah Ta'ala had given us time to make a change, and Allah never yet took us away from the dunya when we were stuck in that, that dimaka part of our lives, subhanallah. And it is through that that Allah then raises us, little by little. We then see difficulty for the purpose that Allah had given it to us, the fact that Allah wants to purify us and cleanse us, and then we do our best effort to constantly draw closer to Him. And then over and above all of that, we realize and recognize that this difficulty does not last forever. It is not going to last forever. We are going to appear in the court of Allah, and Allah is going to reward us for persevering through the difficulty. May Allah Ta'ala make that become a reality in our lives. Let us constantly keep ourselves connected to these good actions, to this Quran, to the Sunnah lifestyle of our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And through that, Allah Ta'ala will raise us in levels in His court. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم تب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد